Howdy folks, Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. Today we're going to talk about how Star Wars The Force Awakens was just unceremoniously snubbed by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, also known as the Oscars, when they made their announcements today for this year's nominees. Let's go. Alright, so this is probably going to end up, I'm gonna try and keep it even keeled, but it's probably going to end up being a little bit of a rant video. I can already feel the rant building, so there you go, fair warning. So today, the announcements were made for the 2016 Oscars for films in 2015 that were eligible. And Star Wars The Force Awakens was nominated in 3 categories. And I've got them right here. So, I take that back. They were nominated for 4. It was nominated for sound editing. It was nominated for film editing, original score, and visual effects. So, but here's what it was not nominated for, obviously. It was not nominated for Best Picture. It was not nominated for Best Director for J.J. Abrams. And I think both of those are blatant slaps in the face. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, I don't think anybody, there's a lot of people that, I shouldn't say a lot of people, there is a handful of people that were disappointed by the film and in their, their iteration, or alliteration, I should say, of what they felt about the film. And they are in the minority because the film is rated at Rotten Tomatoes, which is basically the one that ranks all movies by, it gives what the critics' rating is, and it gives what the audience rating is. And The Force Awakens is at about 93 or 94% on critic ratings. That's extremely high. The audience score is at 90%. That is also extremely high. So what the Academy is saying is that even though this film was critically acclaimed by a vast majority and overwhelmingly popular with average everyday folk who go and see the movies, which are the people that pay all the bills, that it was not worthy of being put on the list for Best Picture. Now, had they had a full list of Best Picture nominees, that pill might be a little easier to swallow. But as it stands, there were only 8 films on the list out of a possible 10. They changed the rules a few years back, where they can have up to 10 nominees for Best Picture. So, they left, rather than nominate the biggest box office draw in years, it holds all the records except for worldwide now, and one of the most critically acclaimed films and one of the most audience acclaimed films, rather than nominate it, they chose to leave 2 spots unfilled on the Best Picture list. That's the slap in the face. Had they said, well, here's 8 films. These are the ones we really think, we got 2 slots left. Well, we got to put Star Wars The Force Awakens in there. All the critics loved it. People loved it. It just seems like the most, out of respect, the right thing to do to put it on the list. They didn't even do that. That's a blatant slap in the face. The next thing is J.J. Abrams. Now, most people are going to say that J.J. Abrams did one hell of a job on this film. Again, by the numbers, it basically says that. But if you have watched any of the behind-the-scenes things with regard to how he made this film, he made choices that were much more expensive, but he felt would lend to a more authentic look to the original series, the original trilogy, by building an entire Millennium Falcon. Scale Millennium Falcon, full scale, Millennium Falcon. He built all these other elaborate sets when he could have done all that stuff with CGI. And he chose to do it the right way. Now also, in addition to that, which was done masterfully by everybody's standards, you have, here's the curious thing, you have sound editing, you have film editing, and you have visual effects that are all nominated for an Oscar. Hey, Academy, who the fuck do you think is in charge of all that shit? The goddamn director, okay? The sound editors do everything at the direction of the director. The film editors do everything at the direction of the director. Both of them, you could bet J.J. Abrams was sitting in the booth as they're doing the editing and working in cohort with them saying, yeah, let's keep that, no, let's cut that. Who the fuck do you think makes those decisions? Visual effects. Who do you think does that shit? The visual people do. At whose direction? The goddamn director. 3 of the major elements of any film are nominated for an Oscar, but yet the director of the highest grossing film of the year, one of the highest grossing films of all time, critically acclaimed and audience acclaimed films, that director did not get nominated. Does that make any goddamn sense? Not a lick. It doesn't pass the smell test, guys. I'm not saying that, yeah, some of these, that the script should have been nominated. There's lots of people that are going to say, it was derivative and everything else, and they have an argument, so forth and so on. The movie was great, but all these other categories, I can see an argument. On the actors, I don't know how Daisy doesn't get nominated, but, then again, I haven't seen the other films, and there may not have just been room. There may have been, with, as opposed to how they did the Best Picture thing, where they left 2 slots empty, with Best Actress, which is, let's see here, with Best Actress, perhaps all those other performances were in fact better. That's very possible. But there is no way that you're going to tell me that for the director, let's see here, where is director? Let's see, directing. You have The Big Short, you have Mad Max Fury Road, you have The Revenant, you have Room, and you have Spotlight. I never even heard of Room or Spotlight. I can't imagine that their direction is on par or better than J.J. Abrams. Now, maybe it is. Maybe I could be way off base. But I really do think that it was a huge slap in the face with the Best Picture, and it was another slap in the face for J.J. Abrams. That's just my opinion. I just don't see what other conclusion you can come up to. So anyway, sorry for the rant, guys. That's just it for today. I am going to be doing another video here very shortly. Lots in the gaming world to talk about. Lots of big announcements that have happened. And so my next video, I'll be talking about that. We'll catch you guys on the flip side.